Hold on to your seat.
What are you doing?
Now you're talking.
And now,
you are now listening to the Geeky Girls Night In podcast.
You are now listening to the Geeky Girls Night In
podcast.
All right, so welcome back to Geeky Girls Night In. I'm Leslie. I'm your host. We've been kikiing for about 10 minutes before this because I ain't shit. And I am sorry for the people that have to interact with me on a daily basis. Alec, if you're listening, hey.
Hey, Alec, you single boo?
Well, we all know who that is.
Today, we have with us again Kat and Iris.
Hey.
What's up?
And they are here to teach me about anime, not anime. As in, like, we're not eating the cake anime. We're talking about cartoons.
I'm mad.
Yo, before I introduce myself again, let me tell you, Leslie's Zoom meeting title is Teach Leslie About Anime, but anime is spelled A, N as in Nancy, I, M as in Mary, A, E.
We got to the Zoom and we went, what is this?
Y'all know what though? Like, I spell it like that every single time and I have to stop and back up and change it. I don't know why that's stuck like that. Like, I have no clue. But one day I will get it right the first time and I will be so proud and I will let everybody know. So on that note, Iris, go ahead and reintroduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Iris. I am your 31-year-old Asian auntie, your West Coast California baby. My pronouns are she and her. Yeah.
All right. It works. Kat, go for it.
My name is Kat. I'm 25. I'm a slave to the mouse. My pronouns are they, them. And whenever I'm not the mouse, I'm sitting on my ass all day. That's all you gotta know.
Yeah, that's it. And they are the two experts that I know in anime. So, I mean, y'all, you know.
Blown 20 years of my life on this shit.
See? You know what's funny is, like, these people don't know what we look like. They don't know what we do for a living besides the fact that, you know, Kat's a slave for the mouse.
Right.
But what they do know is that we love K-pop and we also love anime.
And that's all that they need to know. That they don't need to know anything else.
You know?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Like, we sit on Twitter and we talk cash shit about K-pop girls.
Now, why is my dog staring at me?
They know it's about to go down. Like, we sit on Twitter, we talk cash shit about K-pop groups, the fans, and just, you know, and sometimes it's not even cash shit. Sometimes it's a whole ass campaign. Speaking of, before we get started, we need to talk about the kick me in the chest, you long-legged bitch campaign.
Hashtag. Okay.
Yes.
Wait. Yeah. Next week is Chae Hyung-won's birthday week. Yes.
Yay.
Yay.
And Leslie has this catchphrase. Apparently, right?
Yes. And so here's the deal. Hyungwon is long. Like
long in every
long.
sense. Okay. Long.
Okay.
There she goes.
long in every way.
He's 6 foot, but boy looks like he's like 6'7". He's just all like legs and arms and chest. Oh my god!
And beauty.
Here, quick useless fact about how tall he is. We were at Animal Kingdom on Wednesday, and we were on the safari, and they were like, baby giraffes when they're born are 6 feet tall. I was like, are you telling me young one's the same height as a baby giraffe?
They'll be staring at each other eye to eye as soon as the giraffe's out of utero. Like,
Stop. Okay, yeah.
Back to the subject. So he's all arms and legs and body, and
body,
Yaddy.
okay,
Yes.
and he's the lead dancer, so that's
yeah. So it
body,
fits.
yaddy.
I kind of want to see him do the body dance.
He's too shy.
I know, he's so shy. Anyway, anytime you just see him, he's like there and looking model-esque, and the first thing that comes to my mind is like, if you don't kick me in my chest, you down-legged bitch, I swear to God.
See, now why you sell it my roommate though?
Yo, but he could step on me. He's
Right.
fine.
So like, we're very violent over in our section of K-pop. Like, somebody was like, you choose violence every day, and it concerns me. And I'm like, it should concern you.
Oh, that's my baby.
Yes.
My baby said that.
Yeah. They're like, are you all right? And then like, even earlier, I wasn't even talking about K-pop. I was talking about the chai mix that I bought. And I'm like, this isn't spicy. This doesn't burn going down. I need something that burns. And they were like, are you okay? Seriously, do I need to call somebody? And I'm like, no.
It's like you can't just describe things the normal way. You have to throw some violence on it to make it kick.
To fully understand. But anyway, back to Young One. Like, that's all I want. I want for him to fucking roundhouse kick me like dead ass in my tit. And, and because of that, like, and you know what? Ever since then, I've been seeing a lot of people say it. Like, even on Facebook, like, somebody saw a picture of him and they were like, that long-legged bitch. And I'm like, hey,
that's my face.
would you like to join our campaign?
You kicked in the chest.
Get him to kick me in the chest. Like,
Yo, he kicks you in the chest, you ain't coming back from that. You done.
I die happy. I die happy then.
I'm a smooth 5'1". I'm going down hard.
I think we're all around the same height though. So.
Yeah, I'm like 5'3". I'm going down with
We should just line them up and like you know how they do in like martial arts tournaments when they hit the boards and shit. Like,
but where the boards?
Yeah,
that's me snapping in half TV.
Exactly. He's just gonna make us fall. So, like, if you would like to join our campaign, please hop on Twitter and hashtag long-legged bitch. And
but okay, wait. Before we preface, but say some kind words as well.
So that
otherwise,
he fully understands that we mean this with love. Like,
yeah,
we're calling him a bitch, but we are, but we're not. We just want him to kick us. I want
him to step on me. You're the one who wants to.
Yes, I want to be kicked in the tit. So, and like I said on Twitter, when I was like, I still went to summer camp. So I want to say when I was like 14, 15, somebody accidentally kicked me in my titty and broke my glasses.
Wait. How did getting kicked in your boob equate into your glasses being broken?
Like,
did your boob hit your face?
Yes. Like,
listen, that's the big boob problem. I've had that happen before.
Yeah,
I've had this happen before. That's why I'm trying to like paint the picture.
Yeah, so like I was annoying the piss out of my friend at the time, like, because I can be an asshole, and like I was just like in front of her bouncing around, and she said and like fucking kicked me in my titty. And like we both just kind of watched my glasses like fall apart and fall to the ground, and we just both looked down like, God damn.
The power of titty.
Yeah, we're both fucked up. We're like, what are we? I can't see, and they're gonna make you pay for these. So we need to figure something out. So, but those glasses were cheap, and now I have Armani glasses. But if he were to kick them and break them, I'm okay with that. Or kick them in the tit and break them,
Yeah,
I'm fine.
yeah.
I'm fine.
At this point, you know, what is Armani glasses in comparison to the rest of the money we've spent on these men?
Right?
You know, I could have bought myself something real nice with the amount of money I've spent, but alas,
Oh hell yeah!
go
me
straight to their
too.
dinner table.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. That being said, I calculated how much they make in comparison to me, and I mean, I don't make pennies, right?
Right. We don't make pennies. We don't. But however.
I calculated it and I lowballed their net worth. Homeboys still make 20 times as much as
right? And I'm just out here like supporting them basically. Like I'm
sending them gifts.
Like there are goms all over my bedroom. And I am a married fucking woman. And my husband is like, isn't that band a bunch of men? And I was like, yes. And he's like, that bear has a flower in its head. And I'm like, he's a flowery boy. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Too. Flowers are for men too. Stop with that toxic masculinity. Okay?
And that's when I started screaming at him. And he rolled his eyes and he left the room. He's like, I'm so sick of this shit. And like, you love me now.
It's like I'm about to get shot just because I said one thing out of pocket about K-pop boys.
Oh my God. But that being said, I sent Leslie the same Christmas cards I sent you, Kat, and she fucking framed them.
Oh, yours is on my yours is going in one of my shadow boxes. So I was like, wow, it's Iris' face, Juhan, and astronaut Hyungwon. Let's go.
And he was like, what? Like he looked at it and he couldn't quite understand. He couldn't understand the Juhan one. He was like, what's what?
He's sexy. That's what's wrong.
He's like, what's wrong with his face? Did he get stung by something? Why would you have a picture of someone stung by something? And I was like, no, he's got a stocking on his head. And he's like, why does he, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. And you can just deal with this because this is not, I didn't sign it. And he just left.
Your poor husband has been...
Like, I came upstairs from my Korean lesson, and I was like, I know how to say, where's the dick? He was like, what? He's so sick of me.
I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, Chief.
When we met, there was this girl, and, like, she really, really liked him, but, like, she was married. But apparently, like, her and her husband had an arrangement, and like she was like all over my husband, and he was like, no, you're married, and this, that, and the other. And sometimes I wonder if he looks at me and I'm like, man, I should have chose the married chick because this is some bullshit. Like, you're messy and you're weird, and like. There's all these like bears in our house that represent men, and you keep asking some random man to kick you, and but you get mad when I kick you in the bed, and I'm like, because it's not like
sexy.
No, it's not. You're snoring, and then you kick me, and then you roll over. Fuck you.
Wait. You know what? How long have we been on this call?
Wait a minute. We haven't even got to the main topic yet. We're just going on.
Like I said, like our last episode was like my highest listened to episode of all of last year.
Wow, I love being a star.
Of all of 2020. Yeah. So, I mean, people enjoy the banter. And Alec, hi Alec, again, told me that we were fucking nuts. So
Alec, are you single? Alec, are you cute?
Iris, go to sleep.
Alec is adorable, but he is not single. He is married. He got married a couple months ago.
Congrats, Alec. Love
They-
that for you. Hope you're happy.
They just bought a beautiful, huge ass house.
Oh, congrats, Alec.
Right? Okay, like he's gonna be so embarrassed.
Earth is simping over here. I cannot.
No, you guys know I'm like I'm either thirsting for you or I'm like everyone's older sister. Now
Yes.
now that you've told me he's married, I'm just like, okay, go for it, Alex. Like, work that dink life. Bought a house, good for you.
Like he talked so much cash shit about me because like I call him a baby all the time. And like I told him he's the same age as Shonu, and he's like, so you're robbing the cradle, huh? That's what you're doing. I'm like, shut up. He told our boss, who like is almost like a dad. Like we want to buy him a mug that says #1 dad on it because he's just very dad-like in his mannerisms. And he's like, yeah, Leslie's robbing the cradle. That's just who she is now. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I had to explain Monster X and the age situation to my boss. And he is like, I don't know what to do with any of this information. What do you have to work on today? I'm like, okay.
Moving on.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay, anime. We're going to do this. Anime.
We got this.
So,
Okay.
Now, I'm going to tell you, like, I told you guys on Twitter, the only anime I've ever seen, I can't even remember the name of it now.
Oh,
Spirited
dear.
Away. Spirited Away.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
And that was in 2003.
Oh,
when it came out.
Yeah. So that is the only anime that I have ever seen. So
Did you see it in theater or on TV?
Funny story. In 2003, I was poor. And I was a poor student.
We've all been poor, yeah.
Yeah. And so for my entertainment, and like I had a small ass TV, like the size of my laptop, and I would go to the library and check out VHS and then take it right back up to my apartment and watch them. And so
Oh, that sounds fun.
so like Spirited Away was one of the ones that I got because I was like, oh, it's a cartoon. But I really liked it. And like No Face was my favorite character.
Yo,
Like,
he's me, TBH.
he was my favorite character. And I'm like, this is interesting, but I never found anything else like it at the library. So like that was just pretty much the end of it. So I guess let's start with this. Are there different genres of anime?
Oh, God, yes.
Oh, girl.
Lord, I have a
Oh.
list that I had pulled up.
Yay!
There is
Cat's prepared.
Right?
well, yeah, because the thing is, some of them they'll be under one genre, but then they'll mix two genres together. Like you can have like a mystery one or a fantasy one, and then the fantasy is also horror, but the fantasy could also be just like your normal everyday fantasy.
Slice of life, yeah.
Yeah, or even comedy. So it's kind of like it's weird.
Okay. What do you guys have particular genres that you enjoy personally?
How do I say this? I like action adventure animes, typically with fantasy elements, including but not exclusive to magical girl shows. I dislike. I'm just saying words that Leslie doesn't understand. I dislike, and this goes for all media that I consume. I dislike romance that's unnecessary. So
absolutely.
So oftentimes I don't watch, unless it's like nostalgic anime that I watched as a teenager. I usually don't typically watch like slice of life anime, which is like revolving around, oh, I like this girl and I also work a regular job. We work the job together and I like her. Or like romance, like angst romance, high school. It's just, so I typically stay in the action adventure animes with supernatural fantasy elements, I guess.
Okay.
So, examples of that would be that you probably know, and everyone listening probably knows. This is probably like Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon.
Okay.
If you don't know anime, a good example of an American cartoon that people might know is the X-Men cartoon that ran probably the early 90s. That's a great example.
The best one.
The best one.
Yeah, the best one. Yeah, the best one. Short, closely followed by X-Men Evolution. But yeah, this that's pretty similar to like the kind of anime I like.
Okay. Cap.
All right, so this doesn't come as much of a shock, but my top favorite is Mecha, as you can tell by my ad on Twitter. So all those ones with the battle bots, like all that stuff. Like, you know me, my favorite's Gundam, but I have a couple others like Eureka 7, IGPX, all those are all mecha ones. I also like action adventure, fantasy, those type of things. I do like horror too, depending on what it is, because sometimes the horror is a little bit too much. Like Iris, I don't know if you've seen it, but Elfenlied, that was
No.
It's aggressive, but I like some horror. I do like slice of life, but the only slice of life ones I can watch are the sports ones.
Yeah.
Like Free. I can watch Free. I can watch Haikyuu. I can watch Kuroko's basketball. But I can't do any of the things like Clanad, where it's like romance or stuff like that. I can do most generic life as long as it's not like overly sappy, because then I get bored.
Okay.
And then I also like shonen anime. So that would be like, it's like kind of like adventure. You can make it adventure. It's like young teen boys. That's what shonen is. And then shoujo is young teen girls. So I'll watch those too, because a lot of magical girl animes are actually shoujo because they're all teenagers.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the boy ones. They're all teenagers too.
Yeah, like
So
Naruto.
like Naruto, Ronin Warriors.
Sakura,
Yep,
yeah.
Card
Ooh,
Captors.
Ronin Warriors.
I used to watch that on Toonami when I was a kid.
Oh, she's dropping that heat. She's dropping that heat right now.
I'm telling you, most of the time I'll watch anime, but it'll very rarely be the more modern ones, unless it's like Attack on Titan or like Dragon Ball Super. It'll mainly be late 80s, all 90s, and like way early 2000s anime. Like those are the ones that I still watch and can rewatch. But
I agree, and I think it has to do with, I don't know if you've noticed this, but the more modern the anime, the more unnecessary romance there is in it.
Really?
Yeah, it gets worse, like, as the generations keep going. Like, it got to like 2010, and that's when it was like you could see the animation style kind of shift from like the 80s and 90s anime style, and then it shifted to early 2000s, which was still pretty much normal. And then it hit 2010, and that's when it started getting more like overly animated. And then in comes like the extra romance and the extra drama that's not really needed, but they put it in there for effect. And it kind of drives me away from most modern anime, because I'm in it for like mostly the action, not like the cheesy romance story that gets thrown in.
Okay.
Right.
So when you guys say like the cheesy romance story, are we talking like, I don't know. So I'm gonna use Tale of the Nine Tail because that was the most recent thing that I watched. That story, their love story, like it was central to the plot, but it was extraneous. I didn't need it. I didn't need either one of them.
Like we said when we were kikiing earlier, this is a great segue to a famous anime called Inuyasha.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the premise, what you're saying about that, about Tale of the Nine Tails, where it's like the romance story, the romance is part of the plot, but you didn't need it.
Right.
That's okay. So in Inuyasha, spoilers, I guess. In Inuyasha, there is this high school student named Kagome, and this is mid 90s. She lives on a shrine with her family, and one day the cat, yes, cat, I have memorized this plot line, I guess.
I can see this.
The one day, the cat, her brother says the cat is in the shrine with the old well. And so she goes to get the cat. She goes into the shrine thinking that there's a cat, that her cat is in there. And it turns out to be this huge centipede demon lady. Okay. And this centipede demon lady says, you have the jewel of what the
It was the Shikon jewel.
The Shikon jewel. I can't remember what the English name is.
It's shoot, that's gonna bother me.
Right. So you have the jewel, the Shikon jewel. Give it to me. Okay. Does this sound familiar, Leslie?
No. Well,
does it sound like Tale of the Nine Tails to you?
Yeah. Because the dude wanted it because he wants your most precious thing. Yeah.
Okay. So she has the Shikon jewel, and so the centipede lady snatches her up, pulls her down into the well in the shrine, and the shrine pulls her through to the past, to 500 years in the past, to the feudal area. Within the scuffle, the centipede lady bites into poor Kagome's hip
and yeets the jewel out of her side.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, the jewel was in her body. Okay, and so she runs away from the centipede lady, and she runs into this boy who's stuck into a tree by an arrow. And this is like it's a very old tree called the God tree. Mm-hmm. She also lives next to the tree in her shrine, in her family home.
Present,
yeah. And he's asleep, but like she scurries up, and somehow he wakes up. Okay, mm-hmm. And he's like, he has an arrow shaft stuck through his body, and he wakes up and he's like, "Hey girl, if you take this arrow out of my body, I'll help you." Okay. So she takes the arrow out of his body. He, quote unquote, helps her. Okay. In the way that he tries to help her, but she ends up having to shoot the centipede woman herself. And the jewel ends up being broken by the arrow that she shoots. And so the whole entire anime is them trying to piece back the jewel together. And so she and the boy, his name is Inuyasha. He's a half demon boy. Leslie's face right now, guys.
It's literally quality.
Because I'm like,
this is episode 1.
Are they piecing it together because that's how she can get back to her present?
No, she can go back and forth.
She can go back and forth as long as she has one jewel with her.
Like, what happens if a demon gets a hold of the entire Shikon jewel? They'll become a full-fledged demon if they aren't one. Like, if they're a half demon and they get it, they can turn fully demon with it, and they'll be incredibly powerful.
Right.
Okay.
So each piece of the jewel is like basically like a power-up. Okay. So the jewel gives you one wish, and but the only people who can utilize it are demons.
Okay, so here's what we got. The jewel in its entirety, only in its entirety, can make a half demon whole demon.
Uh-huh.
But shards of it, demons can make a wish on.
No. The whole jewel you can make a wish on.
Oh, okay.
And the only wish that people want to make or demons want to make with this jewel is like, give me more power. Basically.
Okay.
You cannot make a wish without it being whole. But if you have a small shard of the jewel, and you're a demon, it will increase your power. Okay. If you have more than one shard, it increases with each shard.
Gotcha.
the reason why we brought this up is because in terms of the romance thing that you were saying, okay, Inuyasha was actually in love with Kagome's previous incarnation called Kikyo.
Okay.
So she looks like her. And
of course she does.
She looks like her. He says that she says that she's her. It's this whole thing where it's like, does he think that I'm just Kikyo? Oh, I wish that he would love me for me. He's fucking rude as shit to her.
Oh my god. It's exactly like the Tale of the Nine Tails.
Okay.
It's the point where she has to yell sit to like yeet him into the ground.
Yeah.
That's how like bad of a relationship this is. Like it's just not.
Oh my, it's exactly like the Tale of the Nine Tails. Like,
yeah,
she drugged the motherfucker. Like she wasn't getting the answer, so she stabbed him in the neck with some like with something. She stabbed him in the neck with like a horse trank. And I'm like, you just stabbed a supernatural being in the neck while y'all are dropping many stories down to the ground.
Did the vitamin K work though? Did the ketamine work?
Briefly. Just enough to save herself. It was just like, it was weird. Lee Dong-yuk is fine as hell though. Anyway.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh my god. That red hair.
That is a man.
Oh.
That is a man. But yeah.
So yeah. So this is episode, like, I know this isn't all episode 1, but how many episodes does this go for?
Okay, so the main Inuyasha series, it started out as a manga, as you know, most anime does.
Okay.
But the Inuyasha series was over 300 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
It's not like 300 episodes is actually very, very good, considering that there's a show called One Piece. And they just released their thousandth manga chapter.
Right. Whereas
and they're on episode like 980 something, but there's like, I think it's like 200 or 300 episodes. I know the anime series was like 160 something. There was a couple movies. Then there was like the second part of the series, which is the final act, which is like the last parts of them getting everything. And then they just released the spinoff this year for Inuyasha, like last year, I mean, for Inuyasha.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
but the spinoff is like kind of a slow burn, so if you ever were to go and watch it, you got plenty of time to catch up. I mean, it's a small anime. It came out in like 2000. You chilling.
It's a good, honestly, despite the main romance being so, I hate the main romance, honestly, in Inuyasha. I like them as characters. No, I don't like Inuyasha. I like Kagome separately.
Okay.
Inuyasha is kind of, he's high-key problematic, you know. But like
he's toxic.
all the other, he's so mean. And honestly, here's a thing that you'll see a lot in anime and in Asian dramas. Mm-hmm. This person had a traumatic or hard past, so you should excuse their shitty behavior. No, you should not. No, you should absolutely not, children and grown-ups, okay? If someone is shitty to you, it doesn't matter if they had a shitty past, okay? Do not let them be shitty to you.
Tell them like it's the therapy that they need.
Because here's the thing. He has a brother, but his brother's fully a demon, but he's only half because Inuyasha's mother was
wedlock. Yeah,
because Inuyasha's mother was a human. So I guess his brother got like more than he did. So now he's like on a quest to get this full jewel so he could be fully a demon and then, you know, be better than, you know, his brother. And I'm like, okay, but just because you want to be better than your brother doesn't mean you can treat Kagome like crap, because he literally has called her an idiot in the series. Yeah. And I'm over here like, I would have done walked out on him already. You keep calling me Kikyo. I ain't Kikyo. Kikyo sucks, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Every time I saw her in the series, I'd be like, here we go again.
Here we go again, this bitch. No, honestly, if Kagome literally just fucking just left, the series cannot progress. Inuyasha, good luck, Inuyasha. Okay, good luck finding this jewel that only this girl can sense.
Yeah, she's literally the only priestess that can sense this thing.
Oh, so like he treats her like crap. She technically really doesn't have any reason to be there, but she stays.
She does it out. She does it for. She feels responsible because she broke it.
She's taking responsibility when she didn't even have to.
Yeah.
She was minding her Asian ass business when a centipede person came and bit her. Like,
went to go get her cat. Next thing she was being dragged.
Yeah.
How's this responsibility? She needs a therapist.
So Kikyo, the previous incarnation, was the guardian of the jewel.
Okay.
So she was this super powered up fucking priestess. She was a badass. She was mean. She was absolutely mean. She was tired of being this badass like priestess, right? And that's how she and Inuyasha fell in love. But because the previous incarnation Kikyo was so souped up, Kagome also has like this untapped potential that over the course of the series you see her trying to reach Kikyo's level, and it's always hanging over her.
Oh, I don't like that.
It's the thing is, it sucks to watch sometimes because you can tell it affects her because, you know, Inuyasha just loves to compare her to Kikyo.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really a nice anime to watch because you see her unlock her potential.
Yeah.
And there's times where she truly kind of blows his mind at how much she's kind of improving at using her powers. And it's kind of like slapped in the face to him, being like, hey, you called me an idiot.
But look
I
at
just
me now.
took this person down by myself. I broke through, you know, barriers and cleared my asthma, which is like poison air, because that's a big thing in this series. But
are you gonna talk about your man now, Kat?
Do you want me to go on this train? Do you want me to go on this train? Okay.
Wait.
All right. Okay.
Before we continue, Inuyasha is also enjoyable to watch because there are some literal bangers in the cast. Okay, on both sides.
Literally,
I would go to town in Inuyasha town. Okay,
she's a train. There she goes.
Choo-choo host. On the good side, on the bad side, everyone is attractive. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Everyone. Okay, even Monten had a little charm. Okay, he was thick. Okay, but Catsman is the number one baddie.
Oh, it's just kiss right there.
Number one baddie, literally. Okay,
let me tell you about this man. Okay, well, demon, whatever. He started out as a man. Okay. And this is where it kind of gets even more.
Say his name.
Well, I'm getting there. Let me, Iris.
Oh my god.
So going back to this whole convoluted love story, he kind of ties into it. So there's this like bandit named Onigumo, and he did all this stuff, got like badly burned. Kikyo finds him. Kikyo tries to like nurse him back to health. She like wraps him in bandages. He falls in love with Kikyo. Kikyo's too busy loving Inuyasha. My man's gets mad, pretty much sells his soul to all of these demons. They devour him, and he turns into the demon Naraku. And you've probably seen
half
that
demon.
name, half demon, because he's a fucking mess. He literally, has to absorb other demons just to keep his powers. But
Oh.
he got so mad because she was so focused on Inuyasha that he pretty much transformed into like Inuyasha and Kikyo so they could like he could deceive them into thinking they were betraying each other, which caused Kikyo to eventually die because Inuyasha like mortally wounded her essentially because he thought that she was betraying him. And it wasn't even her. It was Naraku disguised as her. But
and that's how. And
go
that's
ahead,
how
go ahead.
Inuyasha ended up in the tree because Kikyo thought his ass fucking betrayed her, so she shot him
With the last bit of energy she had, she shot him and sealed him to that tree for like 500 years.
This is the most toxic relationship I have ever heard. And it's, oh my God, okay.
And it just,
yeah.
And then, so you're like fast forwarding, and then not only are, Inuyasha, Kagome, and their whole squad trying to find the jewel shards, all these other random demons are trying to find them, and they're not like big demons, they're kind of like irrelevant ones that show up and they're gone by the end of the episode because they suck. And then Naraku's also looking for him because he wants to be a full-fledged demon. So it's like him and Inuyasha butting heads the whole time. And he's such a legitimate badass that it took them like
so great.
That it took them literally the entirety of the series, all 200, 300 episodes, just to take him out.
Oh,
he's
wow.
incredible, Leslie, honestly.
Like he's part of him even got shot by one of Kagome's sacred arrows.
Mm-hmm.
And it blew part of him apart, but the rest of him literally disappeared. He has a castle that can like disappear and move to different locations, and he'll disappear for like a month or something, and he'll come back with all of his parts regenerated. Like he would not die. Like they'd be like, we got him. Next thing you know, he's back in 3 episodes, right back to normal. And and everyone's like, why do you like this guy so much? He's literally a horrible person. Like he's the worst possible person.
But he sounds like a badass, and you can't hit like.
And it's another, and his story's another case of like, wow, really bad past, and now he's even worse.
Right. But honestly, in comparison between him and Inuyasha, they both have the same goal. Theoretically, they're both driven, right?
Mm-hmm.
Naraku's just better at it, okay? It makes him more attractive. He's both physically and mentally stronger than Inuyasha. This man is a fucking puppet master, literally, okay? He's smart and strong.
Let me tell you another thing, too. One thing that really gets me about anime characters are the voice actors. His voice is one of the deepest like male anime voices I've heard like ever since I've started watching it.
Yeah.
Is it deeper than the dude that does the God of War?
It's probably very slightly higher pitched than that.
Oh.
And the way he just talks is very kind of poetic. And and whenever he talks out what his plans are, they're just so calculated because he's incredibly smart.
Right.
And it's just because Inuyasha goes in, guns blazing, and he's just an idiot. Whereas,
and
Naraku
yelling.
Naraku calculates, and usually it'll work. Sometimes it doesn't because, Kagome is also, a badass without people actually wanting to admit it. But it's the only one that can really outsmart him is Kagome. But Inuyasha, forget it. Like he's not smart enough. He plays into every trap he sets. You can see it coming.
So are you supposed to be rooting for any of these people except for
Inuyasha?
You're supposed to be rooting for Inuyasha. They had me in the first half. I literally was rooting for Naraku for a hot minute, and then then I was like, wait, now I kind of want to root for Kagome because she's just getting better and better.
I love her. Yeah, no. Everyone on the show, except for Inuyasha, like Sango Moroku, oh my god. Let me just They're both incredible. Moroku is also very intelligent. It's just that Kagome is intelligent as well as a modern woman, and so you can see that her problem-solving skills stem from that fact too. Like her solutions oftentimes aren't solutions that are thought of because the solutions haven't been introduced to the society that she's in.
So she's pretty much outsmarting them based on like what she knows from her time period that they probably won't know for another 500 years. So she's bringing stuff that they don't have and won't have for a long time. Like she comes back often with like she comes with her bicycle, her school textbooks, and they're looking at this like, what is all of this stuff? Like they've never seen a textbook.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Like all of the. Oh my god, Koga. Oh my god, Kat. You know how I feel about our wolf king, Koga. Okay. My face is in my hands right now.
I had to make her a decal for her suitcase just because she loves him that much. I was like, oh yeah, I did. She was like, can you make Koga? I was like, let me see. I made it. I sent it to her. She was like, oh my god, I got it. And she's freaking out because it's Koga.
I love him so much. Okay.
You see the noises she's making about Koga? That's me with Naraku.
Okay.
That's me with Naraku.
I love him.
So would you guys say that?
Look away.
He'll understand. Juhan will understand.
I love him, but I still love Vegeta more. But I love him.
Oh my god, are we gonna have to segue into Dragon Ball Z?
Oh my god, Leslie, do you know anything about Dragon Ball Z?
I know. Okay, so I don't know about Dragon Ball Z. There was a time where I was unemployed, and like I was living at my mom's house, and like I would watch Jackie Chan Adventures.
Oh, that's a good show.
That's a good show.
It's a really good show. And like I watched Jackie Chan Adventures, and then Yu-Gi-Oh would come on.
Oh, I love
Lord.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
And then like at that point, like around the same time every day, my mom would start screaming at me to get off the couch, and it would be Jackie Chan Adventures, Yu-Gi-Oh, then Dragon Ball Z. I never got to Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Because my mom would scream at me to get off the couch. Yu-Gi-Oh confused me because here's this tiny boy, and then all of a sudden he's like, I've got the card! I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this?
Well, actually...
Yeah, it's like you got Yu-Gi-Moto, and then you got Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay, so I'm glad you brought this up because I just finished season 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh!
She screams at me in the DMs about Yu-Gi-Oh! 25-8 and all.
I love Yu-Gi-Oh! So much, okay? I'm on season 2 now, okay? All 5 seasons are on Hulu, just FYI to everyone listening.
Oh, cool.
Netflix only has season 1 and season 3, and that's played as fuck, okay?
Why is it like that? That's weird.
But Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, so the premise of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that Yugi, the protagonist of this story, is in high school, right? He must be, right? Kat?
He has to be. I think
he's a freshman.
Yeah, he's like a young high schooler. I think he's like a freshman.
He's like
he's in the same school as Seto Kaiba, so he must be fucking.
He has to be a high schooler.
He's killing me because he sounds like Felix from Stray Kids whenever he goes to play.
I'm so angry.
Okay, no, but that's okay. But actually, like, that's great. Okay, so Yugi is the name of the kid. Okay.
Okay.
And he has this. I'm sure you saw it. The pyramid on the necklace.
Yes.
Okay, so that is the Millennium Puzzle. Okay, and there are artifacts from Egypt that have certain abilities.
Okay.
His houses a second spirit.
Okay.
And so whenever you saw the personality shift, that was the spirit taking over.
Okay. And see, that's what I didn't get. Like, I would be sitting there, and then all of a sudden, he's got this deep-ass voice that sounds like he's a 38-year-old man. And I'm like, what the?
And he's over here like,
Yeah.
blue eyes, white dress.
Right, I'm like, what just happened? Why is he yelling at everybody? What is
Yeah.
going on?
They're all yelling at each other, slamming cards down. It's great.
Yeah. Yuki's actually a really nice kid, and then the personality switch is just like so jarring.
Yes.
So essentially, the game that they are playing in the show Duel Monsters is what we come to find out is actually a game that they played in ancient Egypt, but with actual magic.
Okay.
Okay, so the person in the pyramid, the pharaoh in the pyramid, the pharaoh spirit, is actually incredibly good at the game because the game is the fucking same game he's been playing for fucking like centuries at this point.
Right.
So the premise of the story is they use the game to save the world from people with other magical items from ancient Egypt.
Okay.
Does that now make sense to you?
Yes. Because like I said, like I was unemployed. I was severely depressed because I was back in Kokomo. God help us all. And like I would just sit on the couch and like Jackie Chan Adventures, straightforward, understood what was going on.
I love that show.
I did too. And then this would come on and I would be like, I don't, what? And
then you got Joey Wheeler hollering off to the side in his Brooklyn accent.
Right. And so like he'd start yelling and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
And who the hell is this kid?
And then my mom would start screaming about like something being a mess and I needed to get up. And I'm like, there are like so many people screaming in this house right now and I don't know why.
Listen, when I was a kid, my mom would pick me up from school and then she would bring me home. And then if we were in traffic, I'd be sitting here panicking because I knew at like 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, because I'd get out at like 2, they would start airing the Toonami block. And the Toonami block on Cartoon Network was where all the anime was.
Yep.
So I get out of the car. I'm like running into the door trying to get it open because I have my own key. She's not even halfway out the car yet. She gets in the house. All she sees me do is jump over the back of the couch, land on the couch, turn the TV on, and I'm over here putting my face in Sailor Moon for like 2 hours.
Oh my god.
And then next thing you know, on comes Yu-Gi-Oh! And then next thing you know, my mom's buying me Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, which I still have to this day. I can play the game. They actually have it on the phone. It's kind of fun to play when you learn how to do it properly. And you play other people who know how. It's you watch it in the show and it's
not the same.
It's over dramatic in the show. When you're playing in person, it's just chill. You're not, screaming. You ain't gonna transform into some Yami Yugi type shit.
All right. And also, you have a 40 to 60 card deck. Homie is pulling the same 5 cards every game. Makes no sense.
He literally is like, this is my trap card. I'm like, you mean the trap card you just pulled 15 minutes ago?
Right,
Again?
Right. Mirror Force. Okay, I see you. Okay.
So
how many of you see you got?
This is a little off topic, but I feel like it needs to be brought up for our mental health. But Donald Trump's Twitter account got suspended.
God bless America.
It's done. We're done.
It's done. It's over. He even tries to make a burner. Twitter taking him down on the burner too.
Exactly. My husband, because like I'm podcasting from the basement. My husband sent me a message and it's a picture of a tweet that says, "Hey Flotus, great news. Twitter just banned your husband. Your anti-cyberbullying campaign is working. Be best." He's taken, ladies. Sorry.
Dead.
Like we've been a mess like for the past few days about everything, but yeah. So back to anime, which is far more sane than what we're dealing with in
Well, not entirely. There's parts of anime where you're just like, this is chill, and then there's some that you're watching that you're just like, this can't be real. Like, for example,
oh my god,
I apparently lived under a rock, and I was like, I keep hearing stuff about Food Wars. Let me try and watch it. It's borderline tentacle porn in some part. I start watching it. I sent Iris a picture. I said, why ain't no one tell me about this? I just wanted some good cooking, and then this girl's overreacting. Is having a literal food gasm over cooked octopus.
Yeah, I've never watched it.
Yeah, and I'm like, Iris, nobody told me. She's like, oh my god. I didn't make it past the first 5 minutes. I said enough.
Yeah. Like, this is enough. This too much.
Yeah, there's anime that's that weird, and then there's like, I should say this now so that way you don't accidentally stumble upon it. The completely unacceptable anime, because it's pretty much borderline illegal content, and I will say the name Boku no Pico. Do not watch that.
Okay,
don't do it. Like, there's legitimately
bad things.
Pedophilia
in
it. It's not good. So like, there's a lot of people who are actually fans of it. Like, it's a hentai series, and hentai is like porn, but it's like animated, but people will like watch it and be like fans of it, and I'm over here like, this is like some 4chan stuff, so I will not be watching it. This is illegal. But you need to be careful of like a lot of those things. Like, if you see even the tag hentai attached to it, chances are you're probably not going to like what you see. So just stay away from those, because I figured since we're talking about anime,
unless
oh lord,
there she goes.
What you got?
Unless you have a specific need, and then ask me what you want, and I'll send it to you, Leslie. Okay?
You can watch it. You can. I have seen some. You can watch it as long as it's Iris's
approved.
Three catch. What's Iris's famous 3 things about sex?
Consensual, respectful, safe.
As long as it's those 3. Go for it. You might see some shit you wish you could unsee, but sometimes it's honestly kind of funny to watch because it's over the top.
Oh my god.
So here's the thing, like, a lot of hentai, I guess we're talking about hentai. A lot of hentai does not have those 3 things.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no consent. There's no respect.
It's not safe.
No
there's literally octopus. So it's not safe.
because it's animated, you can do a lot of things to the characters that you wouldn't legally be able to do in real life.
Sure.
So there's a lot of fetish. There's a lot of incest. There's a lot of pedophilia. There's a lot of, I'm on the train and this man started touching me and I don't know what to do. Bitch, knock him the fuck out.
Literally put him on the ground. Like, what
why
are you doing?
Fucking him? Why are you letting him fuck you right now, bitch?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's like the 4chan
shit.
side.
Okay.
Yeah. But and I think you can see that spill over. A lot of people consume hentai, and a lot of those people are on Twitter. At least I saw them when I was on Twitter. Right. And so that's why you can see that people say some wild ass shit on Twitter.
Like, that's like a whole pocket of Twitter that I have, like, that is untouched, untapped by myself.
Yeah, don't touch it unless you're truly ready to see it, because there's people like us who make fun of it and will tweet it like as a joke. These people are serious about it. Like, this is something they stand, like, equivalent to us standing Monster X.
Yeah. Oh my god. I think. Oh, what did I report before I left Twitter? Some person was like, "Oh, I'm a pedophile, but we should accept it like how we accept homosexuality, because I have no control over it."
You sent that to me, and I said, report.
We're reporting this today. We are reporting this today. I sent that to all my group chats. I was like, yo, guys, like,
take this down.
let's take this down, please. Let's report this shit. Like, oh my god, people say some wild ass shit. People
are trash. Yes.
Truly.
Well, including me. I'm not saying I'm not trash, okay? It's just, you know.
You're a classy kind of trash. You're wrapped up in tinsel. It's fine.
But like, yeah, there's hentai is a part of anime that don't delve into it unless you're ready.
I don't think I'll ever be ready. This does not sound like my cup of chai, to be honest.
Yeah, because it's like, it's kind of, if it wasn't as aggressive and it didn't, glorify some like horrible things that's actually in our world, it might actually be. There are some that's like funny, like, when you watch Food Wars, it's not fully that, but it's kind of like hinting at it. They make it funny because it's a comedy. Food Wars, I might try watching it again. I just wasn't ready for that one scene because I was expecting just a cooking anime, but not all of them are like that. Most of them are very, very aggressive, and some people, I was not taught about how aggressive it was. I accidentally stumbled onto it when I was probably like 15 or 16.
Yikes.
Because back then, people would make those Angel Fire websites.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, Angel Fire and all those other anime fan sites, and they would have like a link, and I didn't know what the word meant, so I clicked it.
So GeoCities, what's up?
Yep, GeoCities. I clicked on it, and I went, oh boy. And let me tell you the ass whooping I got from my mother when she walked in. She's like, "What's on your computer?" I'm like, "I don't even know what this is." She's like, "Yeah, you do." I'm like, "I don't. I just saw a word and I clicked it."
That's a real quick way to get your computer taken away.
Well, she didn't take it. Well, I had to like sit down and explain it. She was like Sigra. I had to explain it to her, and she was like, okay, maybe not go on, these Angel Fire sites anymore. I'm like, but my anime boys. Because I would download, because most of the fan fiction was either on like fanfiction.net or it was on these like Angel Fire and GeoCities websites.
Yeah.
Hold up for a second. So, real quick interlude. Like, I tried uploading. Did I tell you guys the story about how I tried to upload my fanfiction to fanfiction.net? Because I still read.
You can't do NC-17 on.
You can't do any real life people on fanfiction.net because I sent them an email. I was like, "Hey,
you can't."
No, not anymore.
Like, I sent them an email and I was like, "Hey, I noticed that you guys don't have a category for like K-pop or pop or anything like that. Do you think you could add something so that I could add, my story?" And like, first of all, it took them 2 weeks to get back to me.
I'm not surprised. Fuck them, dude.
And then the guy that emailed me was like, "Those are real people. We don't allow fictions of real people on the site. And if we catch you having fictions of real people on the site, we will shut your account down." And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, because they used to have an actual category for music.
I remember,
on fanfiction.net, and it was real bands. But then after a while, they took them all down, and the only place you can put stuff up for like real people is Archive of Our Own, which
and
is
Wattpad.
And I stay away from Wattpad.
Yeah, the interface. Honestly, Leslie, the interface of Wattpad is just so sticky.
It is, and I don't like the fact that I can't like. I have limited like font options. Like, if I want to like signify that this part of a paragraph is a text message, like I have to Google Instagram fonts, put in the conversation into a text box on Instagram fonts, and then find a font that I want to use.
Oh, which is it's further frustrating for you because you actually know the code.
Well, like, and that's the thing. Like, it's like. Because like,
you could just type it out.
Right. I was like, oh, is this HTML? I could do HTML. This is not a problem. And I put it in and I like update it and I'm like, why is it showing the actual literal
code? Yeah.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, Wattpad reminds me a lot of wingland.net. Mm-hmm. Have you, Kat, you know that website?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So yeah, no. Leslie, all our conversations somehow end up about K-pop. So that friend of mine that we were talking about earlier, let's call her Cutie
Yes.
for her Twitter handle, Cutie. Cutie and I met when she was 16 and I was 19 on wingland.net. For my old writers, what's up? It was a K-pop fan fiction website, and it was the worst website.
Literally garbage.
Literally garbage. Literally, like, how should I explain this? Like a Craigslist of fan fiction.
It was like a Craigslist interface.
But there's no search option.
You had to dig.
Oh my
You had to go through every page.
Was this before or after LiveJournal?
This was at
Or
the
during?
same time as LiveJournal.
Yeah, about the same time.
Yeah. So that's why when I see Wattpad, I'm just like, hell no. Like, it's 2020, baby. I don't have to go back there. Like, no.
See, I put it on both. I put it on both Archive of Their Own and Wattpad, but like, I don't know. Like, it just, and then a friend of mine, the person that edited my first story, her and I are co-writing. Did I tell you guys? I told you guys about this. So the song by Monsta X, where Chen Kyun is talking about meeting in the Motel 6.
Oh, Misbehave.
No, not
That's
Misbehave. Middle of the night.
Middle of the night. Okay.
So like I've said,
Motel 6.
yeah. So like I've said this 150 times. I'm like, I'm a grown ass woman. Why are we going with a full-time 40-hour-a-week expensive ass job? Why are we going to the Motel 6?
Can I tell you,
I
I know someone whose brother went to the Motel 6. It smelled weird in the room. And then he told, no, this is not a great story. He told the front desk. So the front desk moved him. And then he came out of his new room and the police were in his old room. There was a body under the bed.
Oh my God.
Didn't see that coming.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so, like,
I'm not going to the Motel 6.
That's the whole point. And so, like, I was like, so Chen Kyun is taking you to the Motel 6 to steal your kidneys.
Yeah, he gonna kill you.
Right. So, like, we created an entire fiction idea based on that damn song and that damn line. Chen Kyun is Succubus the girl and Incubus is the boy? Or do I have it reversed? Yeah.
No, you're right.
I'm right.
You're right.
Yeah, Chen Kyun is an incubus that steals kidneys.
Wait. But that being said, do you get digged down before he steals your kidneys?
That's the whole thing. Yes, you do. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Like, he like puts a weird ass spell on you, and then you wake up the next morning in a tub of ice. That's our whole thing. With a kidney missing, and like it's a supernatural story. There's fairies involved. He falls in love with a black chick. It's great. So like, we're in the middle of writing it, and she's like, "Well, I'll post it on Archive of our own if you post it on Wattpad since you're over there." And I'm like, I guess this.
Yeah, I don't even post on Wattpad, girl. I can't handle that shit.
I mean,
if anyone is stealing my shit on Wattpad, I am not on there. Okay. If anyone has copied and pasted my shit on Wattpad, I am not on Wattpad.
She will find you.
She will find you. How dare you put her stuff on that trash site? So, like, back to the anime. So, where do you guys typically... We gotta get back. Oh, by the way, I went ahead while we were talking and paid for the subscription. That's why
I noticed. I got a little dialogue box. I will start tackling.
Yeah, I went ahead and paid $14.99. So hey, if anybody wants to come on for the next month, because I'm gonna cancel it after, y'all can come on. And
Kat and I are on.
Like, yeah, we're gonna be on like every week at this point.
Every week for a month. Like, I have it. We'll make good use of it. But like, where do you guys go? Like, you mentioned Hulu, you mentioned Netflix, but I know that it's probably not of a huge variety on those particular places. Like, I had to go.
There's a huge variety.
Is it really?
Hulu, yes. Netflix isn't as good as it used to be. There used to be a lot more, but it's like quadrupled on Hulu. But then if you want like a Netflix or a Hulu type streaming service that's just anime, you can do Funimation. I would say Crunchyroll, but Crunchyroll has gotten acquired by Funimation.
Oh.
So they're most likely going to merge soon. So most of the anime that's there is probably going to wind up getting their licensing switched over to Funimation. So Funimation has like all of them. It has the Gundam, the Dragon Ball, Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, all those oldies. But the thing is with like Inuyasha, you have to watch the full thing on Hulu. They don't have all the seasons on Funimation yet because it hasn't been licensed. That's like the main thing. But most people will watch on Funimation. You know, people have their pirated websites, but after that good old copyright thing that dropped today, I don't know how much longer those bad boys are going to be around.
God, what the hell was going on?
Yeah, what happened?
So basically what it was like a whole lot of misinformation, as it usually is, but there was some stuff where it was like best to be safe than sorry. It was a bot because of the new Japan copyright laws with like the manga. Like if you were posting pictures of the manga, like as if you were reacting to it, you would get your account suspended. Sometimes people were getting suspended just for posting like pictures of the anime or gifs of the anime or fan arts. Some of the even creators who were posting like teasers were getting suspended or getting a strike on their account or like restricted. So people on anime Twitter were like having to lock their account down, which is why I'm no longer the girl from Fooly Cooly. I locked mine down, put my little anime looking character up there for now until they fix the bot. But that's what happened with that. It was like a lot of accidental suspending, so people on anime Twitter are being careful. Some people decide to role play as a joke as different companies and got their asses shut down anyway because someone pretended to be Trump and got themselves suspended. Like this morning I saw like a Trump on my timeline. I saw KFC on my timeline. I saw Dunkin' Donuts. And I'm out here like, I woke up, but that's when I typed in all caps, "Oh Lord, going private. I ain't losing my Gundam account. You ain't gonna catch me." And I was like looking at the list of anime, and I looked at my hashtags in my bio. I'm like, damn, that's just about everything I watch or read. Let me lock it down. But yeah, it's best to just stick with Funimation. I've been tempting Iris with it because they've been having sales on anime Funko Pops, because when you subscribe to it, you get like when you subscribe to it, you get certain sales.
Oh, okay.
Like there's a Funko Pop sale on there for like the Dragon Ball ones, and instead of it being like $9, it was $4 or $5.
Okay.
For like an anime Funko Pop. Like they have Funimation exclusive ones too. They sell like the DVDs, like if you collect, like have your DVD shelf, which I used to do. I used to collect the discs as well as watch them online. But they have it. If you do decide to get Crunchyroll, most of the anime on Crunchyroll is subbed. Okay. So you'll be watching the subtitles. And on Funimation, it's a combination of subs and dubs. There's very few dubs on Crunchyroll, but you'll find a lot of dubs on Funimation. And Funimation sometimes does this thing called, I think it's called dubbing, where it releases simultaneously with the Japan episode. Like if they put the Japan episode, they did this with the Inuyasha spinoff, and they announced the English dub. And then every week, like starting with episode 5, like say it was episode 5 in Japan, episode 1 would come out for the English dub. And then the week after episode 6, then episode 2 would come out. So whenever an episode of an anime comes out brand new, it comes out the same time it does in Japan, but in our time zone. So that's how I watch One Piece, and believe it or not, I have not fallen off the One Piece train. I am on episode 900 and something.
Damn, girl.
He's still looking for that treasure. Luffy's still going. But Yeah, and I do the same for Attack on Titan. Like, it comes out on Saturdays, which tomorrow I'm probably, if you see me crying on the TL about it, just know something bad's happened. It comes out in
Can I
Japan, so
can I
yeah.
ask you, do they have my favorite anime of all time, Yu Yu Hakusho?
Yes, they have Yu Yu Hakusho.
All right, I'm buying Funimation tonight.
You're never gonna hear from her again. Like, they have a ton. Let me pull up my list real quick, and I know because you and I have some of the same stuff in common. They have Cowboy Bebop on there.
Now, I've heard of Cowboy Bebop, but I don't know.
It's a god tier anime.
Oh my god. Okay. Cowboy Bebop, incredible. Okay. They are making a real action movie about it, and the lead is going to be John Cho. So that's great.
From Harold and Kumar?
Yeah. Also Hikaru Sulu of the new gen. What's also a god tier for me? Well, obviously Yu Yu Hakusho. Trigun? Oh my god. Trigun is incredible.
I think that's on there too, because I remember adding, I think if it wasn't me just being dumb, I think I added it to my list.
Is Rurouni Kenshin on it?
Yes, Rurouni Kenshin's there. It has .hack/sign. It has Hunter x Hunter, all of Naruto. It has Oron,
Okay.
good old Oron,
Shit.
Card Captors, Samurai Champloo, Tenchi Muyo has a lot of Tenchi.
Oh hell yeah! Okay.
Yeah, Trigun's there, Wolf's
okay.
Rain.
Okay.
The oldies, because Iris and I are like 90s anime babies here, because we're like,
I don't like new shit.
From what you said, it's all the weird romance stuff that you don't like, so I get it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a preference between dubs and subs?
I have a preference if they're good or not. I don't care as long as it's good.
Right. Because with me, I tend to lean more towards the dubs because I play it in the background while I'm like, sometimes I'll play it in the background while I'm like cleaning or I'm doing something. And if I hear them speaking rapid fire Japanese, my Japanese is not that good. I'll get like bits and pieces of what they're saying and lose context. You know, whenever I watch Dragon Ball, I can't watch it dubbed. It's funny, but it's not as funny as hearing Goku's English dub, like hollering, or hear Vegeta just start screaming Kakarot out of nowhere because he'll just
Also, Vegeta. First of all, Leslie, I don't know if you know, but Vegeta, I love Vegeta, okay, from Dragon Ball Z. But he's also the guy who does Wolverine in X-Men Evolution, isn't he?
Chris Sabat?
I think so.
I think he might be. I just can't remember. Now I'm gonna have to look that up, because if that's the case, that would make sense why it's like clicking together, because I know he did voices in Yu Yu Hakusho too.
Yeah, hold on, I'm Googling it right now.
I am too.
Wolverine Vegeta voice actor. Let's see. Voice actor. I don't need to know who would win in a fight, okay? That's a fight that I don't want to watch.
Scott McNeil?
Oh, it's not the same guy.
Hold on, it's a Scott McNeil and 8 others. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh wait, Scott McNeil. He was the voice of Inuyasha.
Wait, I know that
Scott McNeil is the voice of Wolverine / Logan in X-Men Evolution, and Daisuke Igawa is the Japanese voice.
I know that X-Men. I know that Wolverine did do so. Oh, okay, I see it now. He recently participated in Funimation's English dub as a cloned version of Vegeta for Dragon Ball Super.
No, Scott McNeil was the voice of Koga, and he was the voice of Duo in Gundam Wing.
All I know is that voice is sexy, okay?
Listen, it's Koga, so that makes sense.
All I know is that one of my anime boys is also Wolverine, okay? And I like it a lot.
Next thing you know, we're never gonna hear from Iris again. She's just gonna be on Funimation watching random stuff.
I'm still watching Yu-Gi-Oh right now, so I'm on season 2. I'm rewatching. Yugi is still a dumb kid. He's so naive and kind.
That weird like man voice don't change him any. It doesn't. Like,
No. He's a man. When the pharaoh comes, he's a man. But Yugi, the actual character, is just such a kind, sweet boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's best
like,
boy.
Does the pharaoh affect him, like lasting in any way?
So there is a moral. There is a moral issue where, I think the pharaoh is a grown up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's willing to go all the way in certain areas that Yugi, an idealistic child, is not ready to go yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yikes.
So that's kind of where they butt heads, but like they're also friends.
Okay.
But it's like kind of weird because towards the end of season 1, everyone kind of just accepts that this ghost is haunting Yugi and takes over his body.
Right.
Like, it happens. Like, what? No, it doesn't happen.
Like, damn, dude. Meanwhile, I watched that show, and honestly, even though I do, like, how do I say this? Even though more modern animes, the women are more useless than they were in the past. Kat, I think you know how I feel.
Yeah, I agree with that. They're more there for like show, but they're not there as much for like the action part of it. It's kind of like they're starting to leave it to the dudes. There's very few animes where it's like the girl is like the lead and she's doing all this stuff. They give them more of a damsel in distress feel now.
Right.
Okay.
But in a lot of animes in the 80s, 90s, a lot of the side character females, actually the series couldn't move forward without them,
Mm-hmm.
But in Yu-Gi-Oh, I was watching this and I was like, dang, the main girl side character, Taya, is hella smart. Like, honestly, probably the most smart friend in the group of teenagers besides the multi-billionaire Seto Kaiba, the Batman of the group. So it's just like, dang, she's so smart. And I was just like, dang, all of these characters, even though they are strong female characters, they are still underutilized and their abilities are downplayed.
I will say, like, the 2 biggest female anime characters that are being, like, got their, full potential used from, like, start to finish would be from G Gundam. There was Rain. That she was part of, like, it was, like, a somewhat romance between the 2 of them, but it wasn't realized until, like, the dead end, so it wasn't, like, slapping you in the face. Like, whenever the main character's Gundam would break, she would be the mechanic that fixed it. Like, she would be there on the computer, rewiring stuff, putting it back together while he's being emo in other places. But she's out there, like, fixing it. And then if you go to Dragon Ball, you have Bulma. Bulma is literally a genius in whatever timeline, because there's, like, it's a mess. But Bulma is literally a genius. Like, she has a radar that can track the Dragon Balls.
She makes everything.
She makes everything. Like, they have their corporation called Capsule Corp, and like her dad's a scientist there, and like she's a scientist. Like, she's built time machines.
Yeah.
She's built like they have hover vehicles in Dragon Ball Z. Like, she's built them. And half the time when they have a problem, she's the only one who can come up with a plan and or pilot these vehicles to get them where they need to go. Like, none of the other characters would be like anywhere without Bulma.
They cannot move the storyline without her at all. I love her. I ride hard and heavy for Bulma briefs. I love her.
We love Bulma briefs.
So we in this household we stand Bulma briefs.
Yeah, if you're wondering why her last name is Briefs, everybody in Dragon Ball Z has a pun for their name, and it's ridiculous. Like Vegeta, vegetable.
And he's green, isn't he?
No,
you're
that's
thinking
Piccolo.
of Piccolo.
Which one is the one that they call everybody's daddy?
What?
No, like there's one. I think it's Dragon Ball Z where like the guy ends up like raising somebody else's kid because
it's Piccolo.
He's a shit.
Yeah,
dad.
it's Piccolo.
Yes, Piccolo's a shit dad.
It's
Yeah, it's
Piccolo.
Goku.
It's okay. Goku is a piece of shit dad because he's dumb, but he also puts the world above his family. But when you are the strongest person in the world and people keep coming for the planet, you gotta keep doing that. It's like, what else can he do, right? If he doesn't save the world and kill him and like die or get hurt in the process, where is his family going to live? You know, like,
here's the thing about Goku in Dragon Ball the original and Dragon Ball Z. Like Dragon Ball is when he was a kid, and then Dragon Ball Z he's grown, already has his wife, his kid. He wasn't as dumb in Dragon Ball Z. He was like, sometimes you'd look at him and you'd be like,
I agree.
That was kind of dumb. But then you get to Dragon Ball Super, and this man has just lost his mind. Like you be watching some of the stuff he does, and you're like, bro, what? Like I'm like, you can't possibly be this dumb. But it's like neither of his kids are like that. Like his son Gohan is a genius. His other son Goten, he's adorable, but he's already like ready to battle, but he's not an idiot. And then you got fucking Goku. I don't know how he's still alive. I don't know how Chi-Chi hasn't killed him yet, but
he's hardy. Okay, so what happened? But for here's my pet theory about Goku. Okay. He crash landed to from another planet to conquer us. Okay. He crash landed, and then Grandpa adopted him, and he was mean as fuck. Baby Goku was hella mean. Okay.
Baby Goku was rude.
Baby Goku mean as fuck. And then one day he fell and hit his head, and then he became this sweet, sweet, sweet baby. Okay. This complete turnaround. So what I'm saying is, I think he has a tumor. Okay.
Oh my!
What I'm saying is,
permanent brain damage.
I think he needs an MRI stat. Okay, he needs his brain checked out.
Oh my god!
He fell on the wrong side of his head because something got knocked loose.
Yeah, and he all he does is fight all the time. That's just concussion after concussion after concussion after concussion. Homeboy needs a doctor.
Most people with how much, and like the thing about Goku is, my man's has died over 10 times throughout the series, and they keep wishing his ass back with the Dragon Balls. Because when you get all 7 Dragon Balls, there's like this dragon named Shenron that shows up, and you can ask him for something. There's some limitations, but
you can bring people back.
But you can bring people back from the dead. They have brought this man back from the dead so many times. I don't know how, the afterlife hasn't been all right, lock the gates. We ain't letting him back in. We're getting tired of him coming in, coming out, crossing Snake Way, coming in, coming out.
At this point, they should just give him like a train pass, bro. Like he should just be like able to badge in and out. Like
yeah, because it seems like you see him one time and he's fine, he battling. Then at the end of the episode, he gets his stomach blown out or something. Because he always seems to get hit by like a beam of light. The next thing you know, he's got a big gaping hole in his stomach and he dead. And he shows up at King Kai's place, which is this like afterlife, and it's the guy that trains him up there, and he keeps annoying the hell out of him. I don't know how King Kai ain't locked him out yet.
Right. But he's lovable is the thing. Everyone loves him. It's like, here's the thing. Also, is he just pretending to be dumb because people let him get away with shit because of it? Like,
literally, the minute, like, his wife Chi-Chi will be mad at him. He starts to laugh, and then Chi-Chi's just not mad at him anymore. It's the same thing with King Kai. It's the same thing.
Toxic.
I'm saying it's the same thing with Lord Beerus. And I'm over here like, all y'all giving Yamcha crap. Why aren't we giving Goku crap? Leave Yamcha alone.
Fucking Yamcha. First of all, Yamcha has
what does he do for a living? I'm sorry. Like,
Yamcha's kind of a lazy bum. I can't even
he's
lie.
he thought essentially what he was a bandit, right? He was a bandit, and then he fell in love with this beautiful scientist who had a big brain, and his life fell in front of him. I too, if I fell in love with someone who is handsome or beautiful, who also is the heir to the biggest company on the planet, who also is smart, my future, I would think, is pretty set.
Right.
I would think it's pretty set. I would forget that, that is a person, which is, I wouldn't, but Yamcha did, and he fucked up. He didn't continue with any kind of passion, which, as people who work hard for stuff, we all know, if the other person doesn't have any kind of drive, it's a turn off.
Oh my gosh.
That is a turn off to me.
He was in the original Dragon Ball series when Goku was a kid. He was actually my favorite character. Yamcha
he was mine too, yeah.
And then as it continued on, my favorite character shifted from Yamcha to Trunks and Vegeta.
Yeah,
Trunks' storyline's a whole ass mess because Trunks keeps messing stuff up.
That's
and also their kid's name is Trunks.
Vegeta's son's name is Trunks. His name is Trunks Briefs. And then Bulma.
Bulma's name is a pun on bloomers, underwear bloomers. So her name is Bulma Briefs. So it's like her name is underwear.
Their daughter's name is Bra Briefs.
Oh yeah, because it's Bulla, but it's bra.
Oh my god, this is.
Goku's son's name is Gohan, which is Japanese for rice. But the thing is, what cracks me up, and it's kind of funny that we have you on the call, because it's like Goku's last name is essentially the same last name as Shonu. They have the same last name because his name is Son Goku.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I realized that, I was like, oh my god, of course. It's like Son Goku. Like, I can't remember any of the other dumb names because it's like, what was Broly? Was Broly Broccoli?
Oh, I think
Broccoli.
So, the planet they're all from, the Saiyans are from, Leslie, is Vegetasai. So it's a vegetable planet.
Okay.
So all of their names are vegetables.
That is cute, though.
So, like, Vegeta is the Prince of Vegetasai, so he's Prince Vegetable. Goku's Saiyan name is Kakarot, Carrot. His brother's name is Raditz, Radish. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What's another good one?
We have not given any recommendations to Leslie, by the way.
So like, we've been here for a smooth almost. What? We started at 8:45.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
What time is it?
It's been almost 2 hours.
It's been almost 2 hours.
Shit.
So here's what we're gonna do. You guys are gonna give me your top 3 anime recommendations.
Top 3. We better go top 5.
Okay, we'll do top 5. Top 5 that I should check out. Iris, you go.
Oh, I go first. Okay.
You go first.
Okay, my number 1 would have to be Yu Yu Hakusho. It is a fun adventure story following a kind of a mischievous kid, a high school kid, being a spirit detective. And by that I mean he helps the spirit world capture ghosts and or fight off demons. And he's pretty likable. He's probably the most likable protagonist that I know of. And the whole cast is pretty fun, and there's a lot of character growth from everyone on the show. My second one would have to be the original Sailor Moon, not the new one. Okay, the original
the new
Sailor
is a trash can.
Yeah, the original Sailor Moon. Anyone who's ever seen it knows that it was a trailblazing anime in the way that it was centered around the idea to empower women. as well as it had representation of the LGBTQA community at an early time period when it wasn't readily available in mainstream media. My third is, I'm like looking at my figurines in my house. Like, my third is probably Dragon Ball Z, just because it's a classic. Yeah. I also really like, we've already talked about all of these. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is also a fun one, and it's child appropriate in comparison to the other ones. Mm-hmm. So if you want to watch it and you have kids around, that's a good one to watch. And plus, you don't have to buy a new app if you already have Hulu.
Yeah.
The fifth one, I'm gonna say my favorite, one of my, I'm gonna cheat. My fifth one is my two favorite anime movies, which are Princess Mononoke
Mm-hmm.
and Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh my God, Howl's Moving Castle.
Yes. So both are movies that take place around war times, mm-hmm. and are the larger storyline, if you look for it, is about capitalism, mm-hmm. and anti-war. Okay. There is romance in both of these movies, but it's good romance.
It's not pushed on you hard.
It's not pushed on you hard, and honestly, you root for the characters to get together because it's not like, it doesn't feel fake. It feels sincere. Okay. Christian Bale is the voice dub actor for Howl in Howl's Moving Castle, and he does a good job. He does a good job. He does a real good job with that voice dub, okay?
What?
He does. Okay, let me tell you, some thoughts were had.
Oh my God.
Okay, those are my picks for today. Kat, you can go ahead.
Okay. So my number one, I have to give it to a Gundam series. It was really kind of hard I was sitting here thinking, I was like, oh my God, which one am I going to give her? I'll give you Gundam Wing, not just because it's my favorite, but because it is legitimately one of the best Gundam series. It's the one that I can constantly go back and rewatch because there are themes in it that are kind of, when you think about it, it's kind of relevant to stuff today, because it's kind of either, complete pacifism or, all out war, and it's them kind of going, back and forth, and then, the Gundams get thrown in there, but there's a lot of plot. I will warn you now, though, the main female character can be kind of annoying at the beginning, but near the end, she starts to redeem herself.
Okay.
Just getting you ready for that, because I wasn't ready for it at first, and I almost ripped my hair out. My number two, I would probably say, since she said Dragon Ball Z, I would say Dragon Ball Super. Okay. You need to watch Z first, but Super is kind of like it's the sequel to Dragon Ball Z, but it's more humorous. They're still fighting, but there's a lot more comedy to it. So if you want something that's a little bit less, intense, it still has its moments where they discover new power levels as if they couldn't already. But it's more lighthearted. Okay. And then number three, I would say Rurouni Kenshin. It's about a man who was a assassin, and this whole thing takes place in like feudal Japan. Is like an assassin, and he was like a legendary one, and then now he's a wandering swordsman. So it's just pretty much going around with him, going to different villages, and occasionally like he'll, like if there's someone bad along the way, he'll fight them. It's really interesting to watch. I grew up watching it. Fourth, I would say Full Metal Alchemist. Okay. That one's cool. It's pretty much what it says. They use alchemy a lot. it's really hard to explain the premise. It's kind of, they were messing around with alchemy. It was two brothers, and the one brother gets sealed in armor, and it's kind of like,
Oh.
yeah, it's like this armor. So he's like kind of like a robot, like animated armor type character. It's very strange, but it's really good, and it's got two kind of seasons to it. It's like the original Full Metal Alchemist season, and then Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So it's those two, but it's technically the same anime because it's the same characters. And then finally, this is so difficult.
It's so difficult.
I'm gonna switch it up a bit. I'll recommend Hetalia.
Ooh.
So Hetalia, it's like these little 5-minute episodes. You can watch so many episodes within the span of an hour.
Right.
There's a lot of episodes out right now. It's really funny. You need to watch the dub for this because of the different accents. Hetalia is basically the entire world. Every character in the anime is a different country in the world. Like there's and they don't go by names. Their names are the countries. Like there's Italy, Japan, France, Germany, America, and it's kind of like throughout the series they bring up these stereotypes of like different countries. Like America loves cheeseburgers a lot, and Britain is always talking about tea, and it's really, really funny. And Japan even brings up Godzilla at one point. But the cool thing about it is the names of the different series. Like for the first season of Hetalia, it's Axis powers because it's World War I.
Oh my god, okay.
Yeah, and then, and it goes on from there because it kind of starts with World War I and then it goes to the different wars and you see who's allied with who the entire time. So it's kind of taking a lighthearted look at those wars without like the extra, grit pulled in. It's kind of like all those countries talking to each other and fighting over stuff, but it's like little petty fights. It's not like serious guns and warfare. It's just really lighthearted 5-minute little episodes. It's like, it's something you watch if you don't want to have to focus in too hard. If you just want to laugh, it requires no thought whatsoever. That's my top list.
All right. So you guys have given me and the listeners a lot to check out. So I will be sure to do that. I am not linking all of those in the show notes this time. That's a lot. So you guys just need to listen, take notes, and Kat and Iris both gave you places where you can find these at. So we will all be looking for them together. I got to go edit this. It's going to take 100 years. And so thank you guys both for coming on. Hopefully you come back on before my Zoom membership ends. So I did not just pay $15 for one episode. So until next time, everybody have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Hey you. Thanks for tuning in to Geeky Girls Night In. It was brought to you by me, Leslie. Special thanks to Kat and Iris for joining in on the shenanigans this time. You can find Kat at Mobile Suit Cat on Twitter. You can find Iris, well, I want you to go outside and look to the sky, and I want you to find a star. I want you to scream at that star as loud as you can. If it moves, that's Iris. In any event that it doesn't move and you can't find her, feel free to shoot me an email and I'll pass it along. Until next time, bye. Hashtag kick me in the chest, you long-legged bitch.